For literally centuries, the entire engine of global commerce ran on just paper, ink, and a handshake. It's kind of wild to think about. But what happens when that ancient system crashes headfirst into the digital age? Well, that's what we're going to dig into today, how technology is completely tearing up and rebuilding the very foundation of trust in global trade. Seriously, just stop and think about it for a second. Before we had email, before instant anything, how in the world did you make sure that a high-value bill of exchange from, say, London would actually get honored in New York? The answer? It was a system built on just incredible complexity, tons of friction, and you guessed it, a whole lot of risk. All right, so to really get where we're going with all this, we first have to look back at where we've been. And, for its time, this old paper-based system was actually a marvel of engineering. It was this incredibly complex, almost like a dance of physical documents and trusted people that somehow, against all odds, made global trade work. And right at the very heart of this old-school world was one key person, the notary public. Think of them as the human anchor of trust. If a deal went south, it wasn't an email chain that mattered. It was their official stamp, their signature, that was the solemn, legally binding proof. This one step was absolutely critical to protecting everyone in the deal. And the process itself? Oh man, it was just sheer manual labor. First, you had to physically present the bill. If it got rejected, you then had to track down a notary to perform this super formal protest. And after all that, you had to manually send out notices to every single person up the chain. Every single step was slow, painstaking, and absolutely crucial if you wanted to keep your legal rights intact. So, as you can probably guess, this system was just riddled with problems. We're talking forgeries, mail taking forever, crazy high fees, and don't even get me started on the nightmare of international law. There's this principle, right? Lex loci contractus. It basically meant the laws for a deal could completely change just based on where the piece of paper was signed. It was a system that looked like it was all about procedure, but really it was just defined by peril. Okay, and that brings us to today, to the modern solution. It's a total paradigm shift, one that's been engineered from the ground up to solve these exact centuries-old problems. This is the moment we pivot from a system that relies on human procedure to one that relies on cold, hard mathematical certainty. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures the mission. We're talking about a fundamental change in philosophy. It's no longer about trusting a person or some institution to follow the rules. Instead, you're putting your trust in the unbreakability of math, of cryptography, and the flawless logic of automated code. So the big question is, how does this all actually work? Right? Well, let's pop the hood. We're heading into the digital engine room to see how this new foundation of trust is built, one piece of tech at a time. Okay, so here's the core tech stack, and you'll see how each piece is a direct attack on a weakness of the old system. It all starts with blockchain. The simplest way to think about it is as a digital ledger that's shared and can never, ever be changed, creating a truly bulletproof audit trail. Then you've got smart contracts. These are basically self-executing agreements, little if-then programs that automate all the legal stuff notaries used to do by hand. And on top of all of that, you have AI that validates everything with near-perfect accuracy. And the whole thing is wrapped in military-grade security. It's a fortress. Now, just compare that to the old way of doing things. It's night and day, right? Everything is totally streamlined. You submit documents securely, the system pulls out the data automatically, validation happens instantly, and funds are routed intelligently. From start to finish, the whole process is seamless, it's transparent, and it's incredibly fast. So, that's the how, but let's get to the so what. What does this actually mean in the real world? Because let's be honest, cool tech is one thing, but it's only as good as the real benefits it delivers to actual people, right? And the results are, well, they're pretty staggering. First up, accuracy. We're talking 99.7% precision on data extraction. That means the risk of some tired intern making a typo on a Monday morning, yeah, that's pretty much gone. It's virtually eliminated. Then there's the speed. Oh my gosh, the speed. Claim processing time gets slashed by an average of 73%. Think about that. What used to take weeks, sometimes even months, of just shuffling paper back and forth, can now be done in a tiny fraction of the time. And of course, all that incredible efficiency translates directly to where it really counts, the bottom line.
we're seeing a 65% average drop in operational costs. That's a huge deal.
So who's winning here? Who actually benefits from all this? Well, as you can see, it's pretty much everybody involved. Fiduciaries, they get asset security like they've never had before. Big financial institutions, they get to slash their systemic risk. And even legal pros get an upgrade. Their role evolves from just stamping papers to overseeing this powerful, unchangeable cryptographic system.
Okay, let's zoom out for the big picture. What does all this really mean for the future? Well, it's nothing less than a new standard. It's a fundamental shift in how we even think about security and accountability in the world of commerce.
And this right here gets to the absolute core of it all. We are moving away from a world where trust is basically just hoping everyone follows the rules to a world where trust is guaranteed by verifiable, unbreakable cryptographic proof. The trust isn't an add-on, it's literally baked right into the system itself. And let's be perfectly clear here. This isn't just a small upgrade. This isn't just a faster version of the old way of doing things. No, this is a complete top-to-bottom reimagining of the very infrastructure that has supported global trade for hundreds and hundreds of years. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? We've just seen how cryptographic proof can completely replace procedural trust in the super complex world of finance and law. So what's next? What other essential systems in our society, I'm thinking voting, supply chains, you name it, are ready for this same kind of revolution?